Hey everybody, it's Peter from Brantford Kia, and it's the 29th of November in 2018, which means it's the day after the Kia Soul was introduced at the LA Auto Show. Now we've been here before for a week before the Kia Soul was introduced in our media room here at Brantford Kia, and we talked about the Kia Soul before it came out. Now I could do another video on the Kia Soul, but there's a lot of information out online. The other vehicle that was introduced yesterday was the Kia Niro electric vehicle. Now, big thing about that vehicle is we can order it today. So you could actually order this car today. We don't have everything in place, but I have a whole bunch of information here that I can't show you, but I can tell you about everything that's in this information packet. So it's kind of interesting for us because it just showed up yesterday. So yesterday was the 28th, the day the car was introduced. We got this information. And like I said, I can't share everything, I can't show this, but I can share basically everything that's in there. So here's the thing we want you to know. If you're interested in this car and you want to order one of these cars, let us know. Get in touch with us somehow. You can call us 519-304-6542, or you can reach us online, www.brantfordkia.ca, and we'll put you in touch with our salespeople, and we can order this car. We can give you more information. You can for sure ask more questions in the comments section here, but we can get this car. So what is this video? In this video, we're going to go over our information that we have as of today. Now, some things can change in our guides, and we do get updates on these guides, but this is the information we have available to us today, and it's quite a bit of information. So what I'm going to try to do is give you an idea. If you're interested in the Kia Niro EV, we're going to talk about it. So as you can see the picture here behind me, there it is. Basically a Kia Niro. You've got a different front panel here, a little bit different in the lighting up here as well. You'll see some different color tones just to show you that it is the EV model. But I think it's a great looking car, and I think this is the EV that's really going to set us apart. Now the big thing you need to keep in mind is we're being told it's very similar powertrain wise and layout wise to the Kia Soul EV, which of course is going to be getting all the press today. So we're going a different route. We're talking about the car that we think is going to get a little bit less press, but it's also a car that I expect to see here at our dealership first, and we've had good luck selling Kia Soul EVs, so here we go with the Kia Niro EV. All right, that was a long introduction. Let's start. Like I said, November 28th, this information came out. We're going to flip a couple pages here because a lot of this is just sort of preliminary information and table of contents, but there are a few things that I highlighted. First of all, what model is it going to be? It's going to be called the EV Touring. There'll only be one model initially in Canada, and it's going to be the EV Touring. It's a loaded model, so it's got everything for options. If you're looking at a current Kia Niro, it would be equivalent to the SX Touring. Now there will be some differences, but if you go to our website or go to Kia Canada's website, the SX Touring model is going to be very similar to this. There may be some changes, but at least the general specs will give you an idea of what's going on there. All right, going to skip a couple more pages here. It tells a little bit of information about what the VIN number means. This page here, what I've got is several of the features and options. We get with these with every car we get. Like I said, some of this could change, but most of it usually doesn't at this point. So first of all, it's got a shift-by-wire transmission. So that is in the Kia Soul. Maybe we'll show a picture of it here. The Kia Soul EV, they have a different kind of gear shift controller. It may have a different style gear shift controller as well. So it's a different style than the regular shifter potentially because it is shift-by-wire. LED lights all the way around. So we're talking about LED headlights, position lamps, daytime running lights, fog lamps, rear lights, high mount stop lamps. All the lights on it outside are going to be LED, or basically every light that they're telling us about. It does have a roof rack, which is interesting to me because that makes this a little bit more versatile. You can see in this picture that we have here, there is a roof rack on that model. I always thought they would take that out for an EV type model, but this is going to be a true replacement for an everyday car. So not something like our EV Soul, which does not have a roof rack currently. The next one may, but this one doesn't. So that was interesting to me. Little things, the sunroof, it does have a sunroof as well, so one-touch open sunroof. You don't usually see that in our EVs except for the highest models, but of course being the only model, it will be fully loaded with a sunroof. It also has full leather seats. Now our current Kia Soul EV has a synthetic leather seat, and so does the Kia Forte. So the Forte, the 2019 Forte that just came out is using synthetic leather, so this one is saying full leather seats. So that's an interesting departure for Kia's EV type brand. They are heated seats, they're ventilated seats, heated front and rear and ventilated in the front, and you have a heated steering wheel as well. So a little bit of information there. It has paddle shifters. So that was one thing that I noticed here. I'm not sure, it has multiple drive modes and we'll figure out what those are when we see it, but it does have paddle shifters. So that's an interesting thing as well. It sounds like it's going to be a bit more of a driver's car. We're going to talk about power in this car as well because that's really the interesting piece. So you have a 7-inch display in front of you in the gauges. You have an 8-inch display up beside you where, the radio, the infotainment screen. It's an 8-inch display. So again, interior going to be very, very similar to our current Kia Niro with that 8-inch display, Harman Kardon sound system. It's going to have satellite radio, HD radio, AM, FM, all that kind of stuff. So some of our cars do lose satellite radio in the lower trim levels right now when they go with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. This car is going to have satellite radio with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So autonomous emergency braking, that's a safety feature. It's also going to have lane keeping assist. So a lot of our cars, in fact, most of our cars are going to now come with this lane keeping assist. That can keep you centered in the lane. So there's a couple settings the way Kia does it. You can have it correct you to bring it back in the lane just when you touch the lane marker, or you can have it keep you centered in the lane, which is essentially a bit of a self-steering type feature. It's not designed to be relied upon, but when you're driving down the road, you'll feel it keep you centered in the lane. I really like it because with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, as much as those are helpful, when I'm looking at that screen for a second, I know that I'm staying centered in the lane. So it's going to have lane keeping assist, which also will help give it autonomous emergency braking. We'll see what level of autonomous emergency braking it has. The Forte has 2 different types. I would expect it to be the higher level, but actually I would be pretty confident that it would be the higher level. So occupant detection, vehicle detection, occupant, I shouldn't say occupant, it's pedestrian detection as well. I would expect that. Advanced smart cruise control with stop and go. And so this is the big thing. We have smart cruise control on a number of our cars. What that does is it keeps the distance between you and the vehicle in front of you. The advanced cruise control with stop and go means that that system can take you right down to a stop and continue going again. So if you're in stop and go traffic, you set the cruise control for 100 kilometers an hour. Even if you're stopped, it'll keep it on, and as the traffic clears, it'll move with you. I think that's a big feature, especially since, let's be honest, people are going to compare this car, rightfully or wrongfully, with a Tesla, even though the Tesla is a completely different car. And gas engines, you would never compare this style of car with a sedan, but because of the electric powertrain, people will be comparing it with a Tesla. And so that stop and go feature, that lane keeping assist feature, is going to give you some of that control over what you need for keeping in the lane, as well as keeping at certain speeds and certain distance from vehicles. Front and rear parking sensors as well. So even though it has a backup camera, it'll progressively beep faster as you approach something in the back. It'll do the same thing in the front. So I like that feature. A lot of sensors in the car. Let's talk colors. In Canada, again, only color for the leather inside is black leather, and it's only leather, so there's no option for cloth in the car. The 4 colors on the outside: Snow White Pearl, we have that in our showroom right now. Aurora Black, Graphite, and Gravity Blue. So those are your colors: a blue, black, gray, and a Snow White Pearl as well. They have 17-inch wheels with Michelin tires as well, so I expect to see an energy-efficient tire, but they are Michelin tires at this point. A couple little interesting features. The cargo area is the exact same size as the Kia Niro that we have in our showroom. So the hybrid, the standard Kia Niro, same cargo area. With the seats folded down, there's a tiny bit more space. The regular Kia Niro has 1,789 liters. This one's going to have just over 1,804 liters. So same size trunk, identical to the regular Niro. With the seats folded down, you're going to find a couple extra liters of space in there. Here's the big news. We talk about powertrain. So my only complaint with the Kia Niro is it's a little bit slower to accelerate than some of our other cars. It's obviously designed for economy. It's a hybrid car from the start, platform up, it's a hybrid car. It has 139 horsepower in the hybrid, the standard Kia Niro. The electric one's going to have 201 horsepower. Now we're used to seeing larger torque numbers, but that's a big horsepower number for this car. So from 139 in the regular one to 201 in the EV. That makes it a quicker car. And also the torque in the regular is 195. Now it's up to 291 in the EV. So the biggest complaint I had about our current Kia Niro is it felt a little slow, a little bit sluggish, which is fine. It meets the intended purpose of the car. But now you're getting a car that's going to have great performance and great fuel efficiency, or electric efficiency as well. One other thing I want to talk about, people always ask me about the size of the battery. So kilowatts, it's a 170 kilowatt battery in this car. There is some rumors online of a couple different types, a couple different levels of battery in this car. This is the 170 kilowatt battery, and I have more specs here. If you need to know them, you can ask me in the comments and I'll give you what I can. The other thing, so charge times, plug it into a regular plug, 59 hours to charge. You're never going to do that, but that's what they talk about. You're going to get a stage 2 charger, which I should tell you, in Canada at this point, they're going to give you a charger for no charge. So that's part of the deal here. Again, see the dealer for full details, but they do mention that in this information as well. If you have a level 2 charger, 9 hours and 35 minutes, it's going to give you a full charge. What is a full charge? 385 kilometers is what they're saying here. Now, I've seen pictures online of the car having more range than that. We know with our current EVs we can outdo some of that range, but that's a good number to use as a comparison purpose. 385 kilometers really puts this car into a mainstream car with good power, good practicality, roof racks, everything, right? This is really a car that can replace your regular everyday car. So stage 2 charger, 9.5 hours. Fast charger, 0 to 80% in 1 hour and 15 minutes. So 1 hour and 15 minutes to go to 80% charge from a completely flat battery on a full fast charge. And 54 minutes is a different type of charger. So 2 types of fast chargers depending on the type of charger, 50 kilowatt or 100 kilowatt, 1 hour and 15 on a 50 kilowatt, 54 minutes on a 100 kilowatt. So it's capable of fast charging. That's going to be really useful. We do this thing in Canada called liters per 100 kilometers equivalent, or it's LE per 100 kilometers. If you're comparing numbers to other vehicles, that's a comparison number you can use. So we're looking at 1.9 in the city, 2.3 on the highway, and 2.1 combined. So if you're comparing to it, the reason they came out with these numbers is to compare it to a gas car, but you can also compare it in Canada anyways on the same testing system to the other electric vehicles. So 1.9, 2.3, and 2.1, that's city highway combination. All right, that's pretty much it. We'll just zip through my last couple pages. Yeah, 17-inch alloys, I got Michelin's on there. The charge point, I'll read what it says here to me. Here we go. Kia Canada has teamed up with Bosch to deliver a complimentary charging station that will yada, 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 yada. So that stage 2 charger is complimentary. That's the plan at this point. We don't have full pricing yet, but we can order this car. Our goal is to be the leading dealer of these cars in this country. And if you have questions, we'll be happy to give them to you. Kia Niro EV. We will be a leader on this vehicle. So again, give us a call if you're interested in this vehicle. If you want to know more, as we know more, subscribe to this channel. I'll give you more information as we get it. And yeah, so there you go, everybody. Kia Niro EV. Of course, the Kia 2020 Kia Soul was also introduced. It will have an EV model as well. We will have 2 electric vehicles sitting side by side in the showroom with 385 kilometers of range, give or take on the Soul. We'll have them in our showroom. So Kia is working on being a leader in electric vehicles, and Brantford Kia is working on being a leader in those vehicles as well. So if you're interested, let us know. Fill up the comments. We'll do our best to answer them. And there you go, everybody. The 2019 Kia Niro EV.